chọrọ udo na ọganihu. Nigeria chọrọ udo na ọganihu. Jesus studio chọrọ udo na ọganihu. Simex chọrọ udo na ọganihu. Studio manager. December. Yes, if I want to. He wants me and his prophet. Only black. Okay, December. I got to know that. Tell your owner. Oh, show your wife. I got to know that. Person to know why you're the man who feature the book. I got to know that.
Du denkst, vielleicht wird es langsam Zeit für was Neues. Wir kaufen dein Auto.de.
This is a color, John.
Wir kaufen dein Auto.de.
I'm
Hello, good evening, my good people of Biafra land. Welcome once again to our evening's broadcast, coming to you this very day, March 18th, 2019, from the studios of the Voice of Biafra International and the Biafra Broadcasting Authority, City of Munich, Germany. I am Ikenna Obibiagono, the anchorman. Joining me today would be Sunday OT from Lagos, Vincent Ekene, Germany, Mike Obi Okaha from Germany equally, Anthony Moneke equally from Germany, Uchenna Okeke from Makode, Nigeria, Jude Chijoke, Lagos, Nigeria, Valentine Ugoji, Port Harcourt, Biafra land, Stanley Igwe, Aba, Biafra land, Sonny Emmanuel Nwabisi, Seat of Power, Biafra land. Of course, Afam Agwaliru, Biafra land, or Lagos State, let me say. Chidi Chidi, Biafra land. Of course, Dr. Chukuma Gemba, London. Ume Mastilus, Lagos, Nigeria. Echezina Udeze, Japan, Asia, of course. And very many others. All these people will be joining us during the course of this our evening broadcast. So once again, we welcome you. And to those of you who are already online with us, we are saying welcome. Let me not fail to give welcome to the first comers, Ben Bros. Welcome. Justice Moore, welcome. Godwill Wakama, of course we say welcome. Emmanuel Samuel, welcome as well. Kano Jacobs, welcome. Prince Al Inekwaba, welcome. Ago Benjamin, we say welcome. Of course, my good friend Afam Agwaliru, I've given you a welcome. Obini O Moshe, welcome as well. John Monday, Kanayochuku Ono, Christian Angus, we welcome all of you. Kevin Ujiji, Emmanuel Igwe, Honora Clip, and many others will give you a very warm, hearty welcome to this our evening broadcast. Of course, don't forget that this is an emergency broadcast which we just managed to schedule yesterday, and we amped it today. The reasons are quite plain, very, very obvious. Those of you fellow compatriots, my fellow Biafrans, who are right now in Nigeria, specifically Lagos, you would have, observed what happened today as early as 6 a.m. today, when the Igbo businessmen and women woke up, dressed up, went to market today at the Trade Fair Complex to begin their daily activities, to go about their businesses without causing any breach of peace or law. But unfortunately, and most unexpectedly, on getting to their various business locations at Trade Fair Complex, they discovered to their surprise that the flagelling Lagos State government had sealed the entire complex, thereby preventing my fellow compatriots from accessing their business wells and stores. Whatever the reason by the Lagos State government, up to now, nobody knows. They could not offer any reason, not to think or talk of tangible one, which necessitated their closing such bubbling markets owned by the Igbo people. We are not unaware of the fact that over the years, the Lagos State people, generally the Yoruba, have been gathering with some of their Hausa counterparts to bring down Igbo economic activities, thereby impoverishing us. Unfortunately for them, the more they try all these things, the more we progress. What happened today is one of those series of let down plots against my own people, trying to create a situation of panic within the Igbo enclave. Just something we have to say that is arising from last Saturday's or previous Saturday's political activities, the election of the governorship candidate of Lagos State, where a certain individual tried to compel the Igbo people to vote for his own candidates, failure of which they will be named as strangers in the very Lagos we purchased, the very Lagos we built. Sometimes people assume what they don't have and what they can never control. Just because of election, compelling my people to vote a person of their choice, that is arrant madness. In politics, as in any other field of human endeavor, people are free to express their individual choices, their individual affiliations, and nobody can compel them against their wishes. For any individual to just wake up trying to compel my people to vote his own candidate is abnormal. To God be the glory that the Igbos never succumbed to that intimidation. We have gone beyond that. And because they failed woefully, they decided to try another luck, closing the market, such a big market, closing it, trying to know the feelings of the Igbo people, to know what they can say or what they can do. Of course, that simple experiment carried out by Lagos State government, which can never succeed without the tax being paid by the Igbos in Lagos. That particular experience, how many hours did it last? From 6 a.m., of course, when nobody had woken up from sleep, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., let us say nobody was in the shops yet. But then from 8 to 11, how many hours? Only 3 hours. Only 3 hours, and they were forced to reopen the market. They were compelled to reopen the market. This was at the time when the Igbos had sang, sorry please, Zobu, Zobu. Sorry, please. At a time, the Igbos came out in droves to sing Zobu Zobu Enyimba. That particular song that reminds the Igbos of who they are reverberated the ends of Lagos. And the Lagos State government had no option than to quickly, hurriedly, panically reopen the market at 11 a.m. this morning. So the news is coming. So, what else are we to say? They are trying to experiment something on our people, but I think they have tested it now to know that Igbos can never be cowed, we can never be intimidated, we can never be frightened. I so much appreciate my Igbo people, my own compatriots, who came out in droves, en masse, telling them it can never be accepted. Impossible. That the action of the Lagos State government can never be tolerated as we deemed it imperceptible. Igbos marched out on the streets telling them that they had option of a few hours to reopen the market, otherwise nothing would move on in Lagos today. Of course, they reopened the market. They will not claim to give us some excuses why they reopened the market. There were no other excuses except that Igbos warned them, told them point blank that this place belongs to us. Either you reopen it immediately or you face the dire consequences. Let us warn, we can never be frightened out of Lagos, much as we are asking our Igbo businessmen and women to begin now to think homewards, think of Biafra, bring back your businesses to Oka, Enugu, Umuahia, Owerri, Ikotepene, Calabar, Yenegua, Port Harcourt, Asaba, Abakaliki. Bring all your businesses back to Biafra land. It shall be, they shall be protected. But that does not mean that we are going to bring back our businesses in panicky mood. No, we can never bring anything, based on panic, instigated by anybody, be it Lagos State government or the Yoruba people. No, we have gone beyond that. Nobody can intimidate us. What we have to tell them that we are willing any given moment to vacate Lagos. If we like, we leave our property there. If we like, we sell them off. But not in Yoruba terms. Not on the terms of the Yoruba people. Impossible. One thing we have to bear in mind is that Lagos has been a federal capital territory before the relocation of that particular federal capital to Abuja. And let nobody forget that our federal government still has a lot of property, much at stake in Lagos. So if the Yoruba people will not begin to claim this state fair complex that belongs to the federal government, which the Igbo people acquired, purchased with our hard-earned money, if the Yoruba is deeming fit now to lay claim to it, or maybe asking the federal government to revoke that, then we have to agree on outright restructuring, where we have to restructure the federation immediately without wasting time. Then everybody must go home. But don't forget, even if the federation is restructured, whatever we have in Lagos remains for us. Absolutely. So, in that case now, if we are vacating Lagos, for Biafra, the Yorubas in the entire eastern region must vacate the entire eastern region. They must vacate Port Harcourt, they must vacate Yenegua, that is Bayelsa. They must vacate Calabar, Enugu, Owerri, any part of Biafra land, even Asaba, Delta State, they must vacate everywhere. No single person of Yoruba extraction shall be seen anywhere near Biafra land, even close to the border. So, if they think that we are afraid of going back to Biafra land, they must be living in fanciful delusion. We are prepared to go home. We have been saying it long ago, far back 1967 to 1970. We prepared, we gathered our bag and baggage, we wanted to vacate this Lagos, which is no man's land. We wanted to go back to Biafra land. Just like the Ijele Digo has always told our people, come back home, invest at home. We had wanted, during the 1967-1970, to vacate this Lagos. It was the crooked Awolowo that came and said, no, they're not going anywhere. And they converted all our properties, seized our money, said that we must remain part and parcel of this flagellant federation. Reluctantly, we decided to go back to Nigeria, and we moved them to Lagos. So why are they afraid now? Why are they asking us to go? When we wanted to go far back 1967, 1970, and they forced us back with the help of Britain, America, Russia, and very many other foreign countries. For 3 consecutive years, we fought with our bare hands. Now, reluctantly, we stayed back in Nigeria. The souls of those they killed, reincarnated, moved them to Lagos to take possession. They deprived us of hard-earned money, gave each family only 20 pounds. And yet we survived. We progressed. We moved on. Even though in the course of that, many died. Those who died had to reincarnate in Igbo land and move them to Lagos to take possession. It is a spiritual warfare. They moved them to Lagos to take possession of what belongs to us by right. So, let me tell the Yoruba people, the possession of Lagos as Igbo colony is a right. And it has a spiritual, connotations and whatever you call it. Nobody can chase us out of Lagos unless voluntarily we decide to vacate. Let me make it abundantly clear to anybody who cares to hear. We can never vacate Lagos unless voluntarily, if we decide on our own terms. It is only on our own terms that we can vacate Lagos, not by the compulsions of anybody, be he Tinubu or this rampant idiot in London called Adeyinka Grand or whatever, who is homeless begging for charity. Nobody can intimidate us. Let me make it abundantly clear. From Ojalaba International, which we bought, to Aspanda Market, which we bought, to Trade Fair Complex, which we bought, any part of international markets in Lagos belonging to the Igbos belong to us, and we can never be frightened out of them. Impossible. Let me warn, the Yoruba people should not. I'm not talking of the Yorubas generally. I'm sorry to say that. Let me withdraw. Some of these Yorubas, misguided Yoruba people, led by this brigand, Adeyinka grandson, and his cohorts, some of them should be cautioned they should not endanger the lives of their people. They should not, let me repeat, they should not endanger the lives of their people. They cannot be staying in the comfort of Europe, anywhere, and they continue to instigate calamity or crisis in Nigeria, in Lagos in particular. If they should be taken serious, they should come back home and lead the procession. They cannot be hiding in the comfort of foreign countries and then begin to create crisis in Biafra, in Nigeria, in Lagos, in Yoruba land. Of course, there are good people of Yoruba extraction. The Are Onakakafo has won. Senator Adesheye has won. Bode George has won. Very many others. Femi, Fani Kayode, Ayo Fayoshe, many of them have won. They have cautioned. They have cautioned all these bands of brigands to be cautious that in the event of any conflagration in the city of Lagos, take it or leave it, we are going to chase them down to the home, or what we call in the modern time Benin Republic. We are going to chase them out completely. Let nobody forget that historically, Lagos belongs to the Edo people. Before the Yorubas came in and they conquered them, whatever reason that happened, I don't know. Or whether Edo relinquished it, because they could not develop it. Now, by the time the Yoruba took over Lagos, they could not develop Lagos. They were just living in batches, in what do you call it now? In thatch roofs. Then Lagos, federal government had to come to make it a federal capital territory. After they vacated what's remained of Lagos, Igbos built Lagos. Go to Ibadan today, red roofs, red roofs. What they used to roof houses in the long ago, during the colonial times. That is what you can see at Ibadan. They are waiting for the Igbos to enter Ibadan and build superstructures. Tomorrow they begin to talk rubbish. We must warn, and we must warn. Let us warn indeed. We can no longer tolerate their excesses or anybody ranting from wherever we do not know. Anybody who wants to take us for granted must think twice. This is what we are saying. And let everybody hear it now. Anybody thinking of taking the Igbos for granted must, and I repeat, must think twice, because we can no longer tolerate their excesses. Enough is enough. So, be it known to you people, from whatever angle, wherever you're operating from, the Igbos can never be intimidated out of Lagos. If we want to leave Lagos, it must be at our own terms, and that is it all. Let us play a little bit of music. forget, please, that we are broadcasting to you right now, live from the studios of the Voice of Biafra International and the Biafra Broadcasting Authority. And never forget also, under the auspices of the bim-massob family, led by the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Rafu Wazike, we are discussing this issue this evening. When this saga started this early morning in Lagos, I contacted the Biafra seat of power, Owerri. I contacted the Biafra seat of power, Owerri, immediately, and I saw the advice of the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Rafu Wazike, on the steps to take what we are going to tell our people. So the advice that we should tell our people to tell them to remain calm but unyielding. Our people should remain calm but unyielding, yet having in mind that east to west, Rome remains the best. This was the advice. So we were asked, or I was asked to make sure if I inform our people today, let nobody panic, let nobody be in a hurry to react, let nobody take laws into their hands, go about their normal businesses on daily basis without provoking anybody, any situation. That once you do your businesses without attacking anybody, the enemies shall be put to shame. This is the instruction from the seat of power. This morning, when I contacted that house. So, we are telling our people, the message from the seat of power is this. Do not make trouble with the Yoruba people because there are good ones among them. But all you need to do is, do not yield. Do not succumb to intimidation. Do not be frightened. Don't let anybody pull you down. Remain strong. Remain indomitable. Remain purposeful. Don't be afraid. Fear not. Heavens will not fall. Let me repeat. Heavens will not fall. They can only shout. They can only bark. They can only make noise. Heavens will not fall. Good enough. So well-meaning Yoruba people have spoken, and they are warning the instigators of this particular crisis. In the event of any fragmentation, they will not escape it. Nobody can intimidate us any part of Nigeria. We want to go back to Biafra land. That is certain. We want to go. Allow us to go. You don't want us to go. Idiotically. You don't want us to go. Foolishly. You are holding us back. Now we step back. We want to give meaning to our lives. And you want us to vacate. Yet when we want to vacate, you discover that if we should vacate, you are not going to survive 1 month. Lazy human beings. Lazy animals. How dare you? We are telling the Igbos, don't provoke any situation, but be vigilant. Be vigilant. Remain in Lagos, do your businesses, but first, think home. Ask Nnewi people. Ask Nnewi people. Nnewi is a commercial nerve center. Ask Onitsha people. Go to Aba. What is holding you in Lagos? You can sell off what you have. Even if we don't want to sell off what we have, those should remain for us. But then, further businesses should be brought forward back to Biafra land. Come back to Igbo land and invest. Let these idiots come over there and buy. People who cannot pay rent. Lazy people who keep on making noise. Now when we sweat, when we labor and sweat, and give meaning to our life, you see them coming to make. Do they think they will frighten us away for them to take what belongs to us? Tomorrow they say abandon property. Kucha, we cannot abandon any property again. If that is their calculations or their wishes, it's impossible. They have made a very great mistake. We can never, I repeat, we can never succumb to any intimidation around this time. Hello, caller online. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect you to a speaker so the world will hear you. Just a second. Yes, just hold on, please. Just hold on. Don't drop, please. Don't drop. Don't drop. Let me put you to another speaker, please.
Okay.
Okay, talk if I can hear you now. Say something.
Oh, yeah, okay. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead and then speak a bit louder. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, my name is Sandy Igwe.
Yeah, go on, please,
Yeah.
and tell us where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm calling that Adia State, Biafra.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think about the Lagos.
Yes.
I am particular to pick up the issue of Lagos. People asking the time for them to repatriate, to start thinking home.
Yes.
Bringing their business back to Biafra and some that our cheaper for their
Yes.
So they need to only organize and then bring back their business here. Here we have an environment. Because we can take this approach that is particular.
Yes.
So there's nowhere it's not the people so we have all those places that got here. Even if one of the assistants come after. So we are very, very active in our leaders for them. And I was thinking about what.
Yes.
We are now at the so it is not so I
Yes.
but it cannot be so. So all that cannot be so. Cannot only have to only at Biafra because set up of this. So let them come back and this nation and develop a place to people that just need to appreciate us. So, because I want to hear the effort, I don't have the station that they hope to not take. So, even if this has to there. So, it's time for us to think more. So, that's my contribution. And let us take it to find and begin. So that's my contribution.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for calling us from Aba right now. You know, offering your own discussions, contributions on what is happening right now in Lagos. We quite agree that nobody, we repeat, nobody can intimidate us out of Lagos. We are going to leave Lagos when we want. But that does not mean that we should keep on investing in Lagos. We have told our people. Yes, it's a gradual. Thank you very much. It's a gradual process.
That's a gradual process.
Exactly. We shall not be in a hurry to leave Lagos. It's going to be a gradual process. Nobody shall frighten us. Nobody shall frighten us out of Lagos. It's a gradual process. Yes.
Yes. I even want that the Yoruba they caution. Because what they are doing is in any way, because they are asking some of them to have some
yes. Exactly. I quite agree with you. So, what we are saying now,
we are not going to do it
at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. That is true. You are absolutely correct. We are not in a hurry to vacate Lagos. It's going to be a gradual process. But that does not mean that we should not come home. We should come home. We should relocate our big businesses, those major ones, those ones Nigeria can never do without. We should try and bring them back to Biafra land. Let them come over there and buy from us. At least when they come, they're going to stay in our hotels, in our homes, in our houses. They're going to rent, they're going to pay. They're going to enter our buses because they don't have buses. Yorubas don't have buses. They're going to enter buses and come down to Biafra land, and then we give them our own conditions. This is what we are saying. This is what we are telling our people. Start investing in Biafra land. Stop waiting for these Yoruba people to talk anyhow to you. When I talk of Yoruba, I don't mean all of them. There are good ones. I'm only referring to those lizards in king's palaces. Those lizards like this are there in grandson who is homeless in London, who stays in his own kitchen and begin to talk rubbish, who has 7 children he can never take care of, except he depends on charity, who is now frustrated, who is now looking for people to contribute money for him, who has no home, who is fatherless, who has nothing to show for the life he's living. Now frustration is driving him mad, day in, day out. He thinks that Igbos are his own problems, when he has forgotten that the more he runs on social media, the more his own parents and grandparents continue to sell their lands to Igbo people, and the more we continue to buy to develop. Let me make it abundantly clear to those who want to hear. Lagos is an Igbo colony. If you don't want, go to hell. Lagos is an Igbo colony. If we like, we hand over. If we don't like, we take it. We take their possession forever. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Dino Meleye of Kogi State said it today. Let the world hear, let the world know that some people are hell-bent on provoking the Igbos. That when this fire will start burning, let nobody run. Let nobody run. Nobody shall frighten us out of Lagos. The person has not been born. Let me go to the board and welcome those who are here with us right now. Yeah, let me welcome, of course, Emmanuel Igwe, Christian Angus, Kano Yochuku Ono. I don't know if I've welcomed you before. So, John Monday, Obinibo Moshi, of course, Uncle Benjamin, I've welcomed you before. That is true. Ono had clicked, I've welcomed you before. Sunday one for Bertrand Ifani Anosike Chido Koro. Onyendu highest, of course, you go by this name, John Njoko. Thank you, veteran Ifani Anosike, for commending us. Thank you so much, John Njoko, as well. Okezie Tedeus, we welcome you, of course, my honorable principal, the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Afuwasike, is here giving me instruction, and I have to be. Uche C. Ikobi, thank you, and you're welcome. Uche Remigius, Tony Ofo, Chukwemeka, Joseph Abazia, equally welcome you. Those of you who are lined up, Okochi Uchenna, Joseph Ome, welcome. Rachel Achidhu, Ugonna Osunuleme, you are welcome as well. Thank you so much, Joseph Abazia, for giving us this commendation. God will be with Biafra. Ike Chukwu, of course, you are welcome. Kimbon King, thank you so much for being behind us. We are equally with you. Chibweze Oda, Tony Ofo, thank you so much for giving us this particular one. Welcome. Amaka Benson, thank you so much. Moses Chiwoku, we welcome you. Okukwe Columbus, we welcome you as well. Waneri Waga Iba Ike, welcome. Even though you are still talking your normal rubbish, because some of these monetizers or lizards in peace palaces who always come on social media to make noise. Nadi Ben Ebuchuku, Waneri Waga, of course, we welcome you. Anthony Alfred, Emmanuel Chus, Boniface Ayamu, Joseph Imo Abase, Philip Ome, Chukwemeka Joseph Abase is saying, if we forget the Yoruba of their past days or offenses to us, no one. Let me see, no one to do now. Okay, anything they do now, they are going to answer them in larger proportions. This is what they are saying. And we quite understand that we may have forgiven them for their crimes committed against our people in the past. That is in the past. But anything in the present time, we are not going to take it. This is what we are telling our people. We repeat, we shall not be in a hurry to vacate Lagos, much as we are going to think homewards. The reason why they do all this, why they are trying to frighten us, is because of the philosophy, the non-violence philosophy of the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Afuwasike. Because he has said it all, that we are going back to Biafra without fighting any war, without shooting any bullet. So that is why our enemies feel that they can always intimidate us because we cannot fight back. It's a lie. There will be a time when we shall set aside the language of peace to defend ourselves. When that hour comes, we're going to take instruction from the seat of power. Like I told all of you, when this rubbish started this early morning, of course, I gave a call to the Biafra seat of power to take instructions on what to do. The message was, we should not be in a hurry to react for reasons that there are very good Yoruba people, way many Yoruba people who are against this madness happening in Yoruba land or in Lagos in particular. So the instruction from the Biafra seat of power Owerri is that our people should remain calm, but unyielding as well. Think home. Think home first. No matter what you have anywhere in the world, outside Igbo land, outside Biafra land, it doesn't belong to you. Forget legally you acquired it or whatever. But then, if we go back to created ownership, only what you have in your fatherland, in your motherland, belongs to you. Severally in the past, the Biafra leader has called on our people, come back home. In my father's house, there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. Places have been prepared for our people in Biafra land. The expanse of land from Enugu to Okigwe, Okigwe to Owerri, Owerri to Umuahia, Umuahia to Aba Port Harcourt, Ikute, Yenegua, Calabar, Asaba. All these areas, all these places have expanse of lands, hectares of land that can accommodate the entire Oja-Alaba International Market and the traders, the entire Aspamda market and the West, the entire trade fair complex. Think of a situation where Oja-Alaba International, Aspamda market, trade fair complex, the three major international markets are brought down to Biafra land. Come on! Tell me what again? The Yoruba people should beg, they will cry for us to come back. I know them very, very well. Can't we try some experiments? Not so long ago, I said here in the studio, let our people stockpile food and what have you. Food and drink that will last us for 6 months to 1 year. 6 months to 1 year. Get food ready, get water ready, any other drinkable, anything eatable. Get this is ready. Stockpile in Biafra land for 6 months to 1 year. Let my people stay in Biafra land and let us see if Nigeria and the Yoruba will catch conversion. Definitely they are going to catch conversion. Without the existence of the Igbos in any part of Nigeria, Nigeria can never survive. We have told our people that we carry the seeds of blessing anywhere we go. We are like the coconut, we carry the waters of the gods. And nobody can take it away from us. We are the seeds that germinate everywhere and give life sustenance to those who accommodate us. Where our footprints are lacking, nothing grows. We are like the rising sun. If we fail to rise any morning anywhere, there will be darkness forever. Take it or leave it. We are the rising sun. Let me repeat with strong emphasis. Where we refuse to rise any morning, it is eternal darkness. The very day we are going to stop this our rising sun, Nigeria shall experience darkness comparable to what happened in Egypt during the days of the Moses when they suffered a plague. Let us advise all these our detractors. You can never survive without the existence of the Igbo man in your locality. I'm going to one years old happen in Yanga. Forget Shakara. Here we are in Yanga. Just like you see a beautiful legend, they will want to talk on name in Yanga. Here Yoruba name in Yanga. It's just guy name. Forget them. But yet we are going to respect some. We are going to respect them because some of them are very, very accommodating. There are good ones, of course, who want to be with us. There are very many of them who are landlords. I remember my former landlord in Lagos. He was a man to the core. I so much admired him. May God rest his soul. Many of them are good. I have all my good friends over there. These are people who respect because they know that without us, they can never survive it. They do everything possible to encourage us into staying in Lagos. Not just in Lagos, but any other part of Yoruba land. They know what we are capable of doing. Give us a desert, we make it an oasis. That is true. Show the Igbo man a desert of vast eternity. In the next 3 to 4 years, we make it a forest of flowers. We cultivate, people will come and they harvest. This is what we do. Show us anywhere. After all, this Lagos they are talking about, was it not a lagoon and swampy zones? But Igbos managed to reclaim everything. We sank trillions of naira in Lagos. Or have they forgotten that 80% of the property in Lagos belong to the Igbos? Come on, nobody shall frighten us. We are going to leave Lagos on our own terms when the leader says we are going to go. And we shall go, but not an exodus. It can never be an exodus. We are going to live at a time when we are prepared to live. Let me welcome Jude Chijoke from Lagos, who is here to give us a situation report. Jude Chijoke, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me equally welcome Sunday Oti in Lagos, who is equally going to give us a situation report. Sunday Oti, you are welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, please Sunday, try and be in a position that will make your communication with your fellow Biafrans very, very clear. Because sometimes when you speak to us, everything completes to them. Okay, from Lagos also, let me welcome Sunday Emmanuel Mabisi, right now in Biafra land, close to the seat of power, to give us also the feelings of our people right there at Owerri. Sunday, you are welcome.
Thank you, my brother Itona, and good evening, all our good listeners. May God bless each and every one.
Thank you so much. We shall be welcoming other members of the and people who are calling from different parts of Biafra land and Nigeria to give us situations reports. Now, let me, this morning I have been in touch with Jude Chijoke after I received the instruction from the Biafra seat of power. I got in touch with Gigi to help us, with the situation report there. Please, Sunday Oti, check your background. There's much noise coming from there. Sunday Oti. So, I got in touch with Jude Chijoke for him to get situation of things on ground. Jude Chijoke was able to give us some information, and I would like from eyewitness account. Oh, please, Sunday Oti, enough. So I would want Jude Chijoke, who has been on ground since morning, trying to gather information, investigating, to give us situation report. But before then, let me welcome Uchenna, who is joining us right now from Makurdi. Uchenna, you're welcome. Uchenna joining us from Makurdi right now. You're welcome. He's not getting me. So, Jude Chijoke, this morning I contacted you to help us get the situation report over there. We don't believe in mere speculation. We want, whenever we are giving our reports, we make sure everything is authentic. Jude, right now, what is the situation of things in Lagos? Please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. This is Jude Chijoke, and I'm reporting live from Lagos.
Oh, okay, Jude, hold on, please. Let me take a corner. Just please hold on. Just hold on. Hold on, please, Jude. Hello, our caller.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm calling from Cameroon.
Okay, you're calling from Cameroon. Okay, thank you so much. You're calling from Cameroon. Now, is it Yaoundé or which part of Cameroon are you calling from?
Yaoundé.
Okay, thank you so much. This is our man, caller from Cameroon. Of course, he's a Biafra, resident in Cameroon, precisely in Yaoundé. Now, you heard what has been happening in Lagos, more especially since the early morning, 6 a.m., where the Igbo International Market Trade Fair Complex was put under lock and key by the Lagos State government. It took the pressure of our people to compel them to reopen the market at 11 o'clock in the morning. What advice do you have for our people who are still investing in Lagos instead of Biafra land? And equally, what advice do you have for some of these Yoruba people who are trying to intimidate us, even though they can never succeed? Biafrans would like to hear from you, from Cameroon, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Ojukwu has told them about that. It's very huge. But I'm telling them to calm down and they follow it in a gentle way. They should not fight. Because I think they will go to court to know whether they will win them. Although there's no justice in Nigeria, but we will show it gently. I think very soon we'll have our own country, and all of them will come back if they cannot stay there, because that place will become a foreign land. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Exactly. We are telling our people to come back home. We know nobody can intimidate us, but yet, let us look reality in the face. Let us start investing back home in Biafra land. Let us start investing back home Biafra land. Our people have spoken. The Biafra leader has spoken. Of course, the Ijele Ndigo. Very many other people have spoken. On several occasions, we have spoken here in the studio on the voice of Biafra International and the Biafra Broadcasting Authority, calling on our people, go back home. Go back home. Stop investing, wasting your resources in Lagos. Year in, year out, they continue to frighten you. Now, they are thinking of showing you another swampy zone in faraway Ikorodu, somewhere again in faraway Badagry. Before you know it, all of you will be rushing down to all these places and start reclaiming swampy areas. Some years after, they begin to talk rubbish to you. Thank you very much, our man talking to us from Yaoundé, Cameroon, for that particular advice to our people. Let me go back to Lagos right now to Judy Chijoke. Judy, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ikenna. So, like I was saying, the fact is, the report that I was able to gather, has to do with the temporary shutdown of the trade fair complex. I'm talking of the International Trade Fair Complex located along the Badagry Expressway, where mostly the Igbo Biafrans and the other, well-known traders internationally and locally are trading there. They are there for business, which was actually shut down this morning. I think at 6 a.m. people that came realized that the Lagos state government actually shut the place down, put the entire market under lock and people that were unable to go to the streets and start their normal business of the day. And it's not just the market as the traders as a whole, or the customers or people that have come from all out of the world actually, because most Africans comes down there for business and at the same time the bankers, because there are banks and there are a lot of the big bodies which owns offices inside that same trade fair complex. But it's unfortunate that it was
okay. Hold on. Let me ask you: as we are talking now, has the market been reopened?
Yeah, that the same morning, I think around 11 a.m.
Okay.
The market was actually reopened, but not without a very bitter protest, from the youth traders, and then they blocked the road and they came out. They ran the trade fair as a whole, protesting, and they were called over here, and they are calling because it seems like it's a state government and federal government, issue.
Okay. Okay, Jude, what you're trying to say there is that Igbos came out in mass to protest against the closure of the market, and this particular thing put pressure on the Lagos state government into reopening the market.
Yes, exactly. It's not only that they came out.
Yes.
They came out and started chanting Biafran war songs, saying that the Biafra is the only option.
Yes.
I was surprised. They were saying Biafra, that since they don't want one Nigeria anymore,
yes,
that they should leave us go, that we should go our own, and
exactly.
Then all in a sudden, within some few hours, they
yes, started
reconsidering, and then before you know it, they reopened.
And thank you so much, Jude. And let nobody forget that what is keeping us in Lagos is this idea of seaports. If we have this seaport in Calabar, in Port Harcourt, in Warri, Uguta, tell me, what are we doing in Lagos? But it is a Yoruba conspiracy that is keeping us today in Lagos. So why are they complaining? Let me go to London and welcome Dr. Chukwuma Gemba. Dr. Gemba, you are welcome. Hello, Dr. Gemba. Yes, because I know you wrote in something to say that the closure of market has some undertones, which we quite agree. So, Dr. Gemba,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, Dr. Gemba, you're welcome to the program. I don't know what you wrote about the closure of the market, and we would like to welcome you to the program to give expression to that particular thing, statement. Dr. Gemba.
Thank you very much. You know, when you all know that we have a lot of our people in Lagos. Most of them are Biafran activists. When an issue like this comes, I've got quite a couple of them I've called to get different perspective on what is happening. And what I've just posted is one of the responses I received. And I've not had any person in this forum who made reference to this. I don't live in Lagos. The highest amount of time I have spent in Lagos, I think, is about 4 or 3 weeks, ever. So I only use it for transit. I don't know Lagos. I don't know the politics of Lagos and what is happening there. So we'll have to dig a little bit deep to know exactly what is happening and not to react to anything we see or that was posted online. Yes. So that is where we are, what we should do.
Yes, honestly,
it is an eye-opener, yes, about this lease of a team. So if that is the case, we need to find a little bit, find more information about the lease. Lease is a legal document. So until the lease expires, there's nothing you can do.
Yes.
So that is it.
Well, honestly, when this saga started early in the morning, we got the information and even the video clips as evidence. Now, what we did was, because we don't believe in speculative journalism, I had to assign Judy Chijoke to make necessary investigations, and he carried it out and gave a report that it was actually happening, just like he informed us a few minutes ago. Equally, when we discovered that our people were reacting, I contacted Owerri immediately and got instruction from Chief Dr. Wazirike to inform our people not to react violently, but to insist on what belongs to them. And to God be the glory that our people maintained their stand, unyielding, even though without confronting anybody. So, like you pointed out rightly, it has some political connotations. Just because our people voted for a particular candidate or party, those who feel offended think they can now try to intimidate us using this particular market closure. We have always told them that we are prepared to vacate Lagos, but on our own terms, not on the terms of anybody. Just like we reminded them that we wanted, our fathers, our grandfathers wanted to vacate Nigeria, Lagos, during 1967, 1970. The same people that twisted our arms forced us back into this failing federation, and the very ones now kicking against our continued existence and development of that particular city, which we purchased on our own sweat. After all, like I said earlier on, that Biafra has some spiritual connotations. We were killed, deprived of our money, given £20 for per family, no matter their number. Some people died because of this. Now only to reincarnate and move down to Lagos to reclaim what it was theirs and what is theirs, and then continue to complain. Like I have said it earlier on, we are not laying ownership, claim to ownership of Lagos, no. But if anybody should try to remind us that, we tell that Lagos is our colony, and not anybody can do about it. If we have 80% property in a particular given place, what remains of 20? So who owns it? But all the same, we are telling our people to come back to Biafra land. Now, don't again, but let me ask. Now that these things are happening, again and again, people have advised our businessmen and women to start a gradual relocation to Biafra land. What words of advice do you have for our people who are still hardened, who still hear but they don't understand? What advice do you have for them considering this particular development? Dr. Gamba, please.
So long as we are still part of Nigeria, so long as we are legitimately carrying out our business, our people are there making out a living, believing that we are in the same country. I don't think that it is wise for anybody to run from his to run away from his place of abode. Ikenna, you live in Germany. I'm quite sure, even if maybe directly or indirectly there are various economic reasons why you are there, but you are there on your own self-volition. You probably own a property, or you know a person or persons Nigerians who own a property. Just as I live in the United Kingdom, I own a property. I know people who own a property, chain of properties, and so on and so forth. These are governed by law of the land. So if I live in the United Kingdom today or tomorrow, what I need to do is to flog my whatever I own at my own will. I am not going to be forced. Even if I leave, the legal documentation and everything, even if it's going to still be there for me. So this idea of saying people should run away, leave their investments, leave their abandoned property and run away, I don't think that I will support it. But at the same time, it is up to individuals to make their choice. Because you didn't force anybody to go to Lagos. You didn't force anybody, nobody forced anybody to be there. Remember, and most importantly, some of these people we are talking about only know Lagos as their place of origin. They were born and bred there. They may be first or even second generation or third generation. Some of them don't even have where to go if you ask them to go. So I am not going to support the idea say everybody should live in Lagos and run back to the east. In the first place, it must not be by force
at all.
It must not be by cohesion. If you decide that okay, I will gradually relocate, it has to be on self-volition and not without any sort of force or cohesion by any means of imagination. That is what I want to say. Not just in Lagos, any part of Nigeria. So long as we are, if we break away tomorrow, there is still legal documents. You are still part of a building. There's no way. Even there are some people, even by ongoing points, they will still not leave because they said, I'm not living. This is my place. I don't know any other place I can feel comfortable other than here. I cannot breathe. If you want to kill me, kill me. There will be still people of that. So what are you going to do? Not just in Lagos, in many parts of Nigeria. So when people are coming, they should do, when they say this is back to remember that they are still one under the so-called United One Nigeria for now. So when people talk about relocating, they should pause and think twice on what they are saying.
Yeah, exactly. We are not saying we are going to be in a hurry to vacate. No, nobody will try it. We are only advising that further businesses should be sited in Biafra land. This is the advice we are giving to them. Enough of this development in Lagos. We are through with that. Further business enterprises should be sited in Biafra land. And this is what we are saying. Now,
let me make some statements here. Let me make this point.
Okay.
You see, to a large extent, many of our people who are running helter-skelter out of Igbo land, they are not doing it out of choice. They are forced to do so.
Yes.
Now, our government at state level, what are the infrastructures they are putting in place to attract new business or make those who are there to remain? Even the few that are still home, then if you given the slightest opportunity, they will leave. Why? Because they don't feel welcome. There's no any measure being taken by the government to put in to lay the foundation for business to prosper, for new entrants to come in. I mean, when we think it in this
left. Let us think backwards and this thing as well. Think back. You are from Imo State. I am from Imo State. Check what are the state of Imo State for the past 8 years. What is it there about? When you have even those who running away, those who are abroad or in Lagos, say, okay, let me work and establish a branch or whatever. The economic situation will make it worse. You know what? This is a pure economic decision, business decision, not on sentiment. You go where the atmosphere is favorable for a business to grow. It is not a charity. Our people don't run charity. Wherever they go, that they will find a enabling environment for their entrepreneurial spirit to grow. They will go. Even if in the moon. If our people are running the charity, it's a different matter. Wherever they go and find a enabling environment for them to prosper, they will remain there. And if your father's compound is not comfortable for you, and you go and see another compound where you feel you have peace of mind, won't you go? Let us be realistic at times when we are making some remark or making some expectations. I know some people may find this very difficult to believe or whatever, but I am a strong unashamedly Biafran this thing. I want it to die tomorrow. But until such a time we can achieve it, we have to be realistic on our expectations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Demba. Honestly, what you said is absolutely correct. Nobody leaves Biafra land for Lagos because of choice. Even if it is choice, it's a difficult one. Because the Biafra land, the Igbo society, governed or misgoverned by governors today, cannot accommodate our people, cannot provide anything tangible for the people. We want jobs. Our governors, instead of using the money for the state to establish some cottage industries to employ our people, they siphon the money abroad into foreign banks. They use our money to build their own personal estates. Tell me, security vote, what do our governors do with it? Constituency allowance, what do our senators and legislators do with it? Even at the state assembly level, what do the honorable members do with the money they are given? Nothing. How often have they used part of this money to put up some industries, something that could accommodate even 20 persons? There are such opportunities abounding in Biafra land, in Igbo land. But the problem is that the so-called governors we have in the entire eastern region have nothing to offer our people. They consider themselves first. Here in Deutschland, Germany, it is called, the German government, the state government in Bavaria, from where we are broadcasting right now, the Bavarian government makes sure that every segment of the society has what it takes to make the citizens happy. Every 300 to 400 meters in every German society has offices, private or government owned. I mean, privately or government owned. Up to 3 or 4 banks. Markets, you can get up to 5, 6 or more. Business centers everywhere. I'm talking of within 3 to 4 to 500 meters of their own environment. The German government, the Bavarian government makes sure that all these things are provided manifold. That you can stay within your locality for 1 year, for 2 years without stepping out. Yet you are feeding, you are working. If you want to communicate to any part of the world, in that your office or in the comfort of your own apartment, you can talk to the whole world. Because here in Germany, in Bavaria, Every apartment is well provided for with all these gadgets. From where I am now, I can talk to the whole world. That is clear. You talk to the whole world. You don't need to rent a superstructure in Israel or in California or in Santiago, somewhere in Argentina. Oh no, you don't need to waste people's resources. Say you have an office, so place. Of what benefit is that office to our own people? This is exactly what you are saying. You love Biafra land. You love Igbo land. You want us to develop. But when you have something that belongs to our people, instead of you investing it in Biafra land, in Igbo land, you want to go and give impression that you have an office in Israel. You have an office in London. You have office in Germany. You have office in different parts of the world. To impress who? To impress who? You don't impress anybody. If you don't invest it in Biafra land, you are wasting your time. Go to the seat of power today. Go and see what the bim-massob family is doing. Building structures, every zone in Biafra land, super structures. Now, why these structures are being put in place? Those artisans, bricklayers, masons, all of them, they are working. And why they work in all these places? They get money to take care of their immediate families. That is governance in action. In Olu zone, where I come from, the bim-massob family has raised a very wonderful administrative structure there. When it was being consulted, a lot of people were doing jobs there. They were getting money. In Port Harcourt, in Umuahia, in Aba, in other parts of Biafra land. The same storyline. Now, this is what we expect of our governors. To use the money that belongs to us and then develop a Biafra land. Once we have all these things, different parts of Biafra land, tell me, what are we going to Lagos to do? I was today talking with a Biafran lady. Just the lady is a tailor. Because she's a tailor, she had to move down to Lagos to rent, to look for where to learn tailoring. When everywhere Aba, Umuahia, Okigwe, Enugu, Oka, Owerri. Come on. Some of these minor things that we can do in Biafra land, living in Biafra land without paying rent. Even if we want to pay rent at a lower price, we move down to Lagos, risk our lives from morning till noon, from noon till evening. We're on the road, risking our lives. We go there, we are homeless, we rent houses, we pay. Come on, it doesn't help us. But what our governors doing? The very moment our people begin to question these governors, to question these senators, legislators, to question anybody representing them at any level, the very day we begin to question them, to make sure that if they acquire our resources for their own private use, we burn everything down. That very day we shall have better representation. We must begin to picket all our governors. In foreign countries, it is done. Go to Algeria. See what is happening in Algeria right now. People have come out en masse. Yes, don't take them back. People have come out in Algeria right now. In Catalonia, in Spain, people have come out to protest over what belongs to them. Yes. Now, why can't we do the same thing? Don't take them over to you.
Yes, let me add here to contribute to what you have just said. Just today, in the afternoon, I used part of my break to attend this program, Biafra, and I was invited to come and feature in one of their programs. I came there, and there one of them was asking me, but how come in the whole of the Southeast, it is the people of Imo State that shout the loudest, that makes too much noise, and they give Okorocha the hardest time of all? I said to the person, say, listen, people, if you are not comfortable where you are, you will make a move. You have to ask a question, just as you said now. Why things are not happening is that our people have become so docile. We have become more shock absorber than shock absorber itself. Anything governors throw on our people, anything politicians throw on us, we will accept and smile. As it's well, that's the popular word. It's well. What is well? It's well. It's well. What is well? What is well? People are dying. And say it's well. When you can do something about it, you pray. go to do fasting and prayer. You do night vigil, praying. When you go come back, problem is still there. Take positive action. Now, but unfortunately, see, this is why things are not happening. Now, let's take a little bit, if you like, call it a post-mortem of Okorocha's government. For the 8 years was there, and those, I don't know how many people listening or in this program. How many times did Okorocha organize local government election? Yes, so someone will say, oh, he organized one last year. Yes, that is because the purpose he organized that is to elect more or less his returning agents or his party talks or those who will help to facilitate his in-law winning the governorship of Imo State. Nothing more, nothing less. They are puppets. Okay, how about state assembly? Of all the people listening now, or anybody listening to this program, if you are from Imo State, let me ask you this question. How many times or how many bills or law has been passed by the Imo State House of Assembly for the past 8 years? By the way, do you know the name of your state assembly member in the House of Assembly? How many times have you had news about the state assembly meeting? What the first act Okorocha did was to put the state assembly into his pocket.
Exactly.
He bought them over and turned them into mere rubber stamp. Now, if you people, let me give you, if you like, call it a breaking news, those who are following UK politics. The Speaker of the House of Commons today refused the Prime Minister to bring back the bill for brief exist, which has been rejected 2 times already. Because the Speaker said, no, you cannot bring this bill back to the House of Commons for the 3rd time if there is no material changes, if there is no significant change to the bill. So you don't bring it to the House if it is still the same thing. This is what you call separation of power. But in Imo State, for the past 8 years, there was no separation of power. You only have governor and the governor executive all over. The only saving grace to some extent or to a large extent was the judiciary. I understand that they managed to retain some atom of independence to their credit. So what you are saying is that our people, before, when the days were, I don't know, you have trade union bodies. Trade unions, they are in fact, one of the group that when they go in get stuff, they call out their members on strike. How many times have you heard about national strike? I'm not talking of ASI. Even if they call, by the time they will go and they settle their top executives, the national executive council members of the unions one by one. Before you know it, nothing will happen. You come back to square one. This is why things are not happening. So people are not protesting. People, as you said, people don't ask questions. People do not resist what is resistible. They don't resist, except turn out to be shock absorbers. We are even absorbing more shock than shock absorber itself, and which is not good. And if it continues that way, we will need to have shock to the point that the shock absorber will break, and you don't have the way to absorb any longer. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gamba, for laying emphasis to that. That is true. We don't ask questions. Whatever we are told, we just believe. As if anybody is holding us or, we can know. What for? I remember in the days when we were students, we challenged every government, negative policies. we challenge each and every one of them. And as pressure group, we compelled government to effect some changes for the benefit of the people. Today, where are the students? Where are the students? That is the question. Lazy students. Who is going to protest? Students from Enugu or Anambra or Imo or Ada or Ebonyi. Not to talk of other places. We don't have students again. All we have are students' union, compromise students' union governments. They move down to politicians begging for gratuity, begging for money. And once politicians give them money, they won't say anything again. Students' union, my foot. Imo State University. What does the students' union do? Nothing. Just moving from place to place, collecting partly sum of money from politicians. What of Alban Ikoku? What of Futo? What of Nnamdi Azikiwe University? What of UNN? That particular citadel, where came the Biafra war veterans in the years yore? What of other universities? Where are they sleeping? Nobody talks. Nobody complains. How can they complain when they pay lecturers before they pass any particular course? That is a problem. With what we have today in Biafra land are lazy students. Lazy. In a well-organized society, students can never be there and things happen wrongly. How often have we heard of our students going to stairs, houses of assembly, to monitor proceedings, raise their hands and say something? It has never happened in Biafra land. Oh, come on. Why is that so? Because everybody wants to feed. How can we be collecting partly sum of money from politicians and year in, year out, when they are in power, they recoup everything? Oh, why don't we protest? Why can't we complain? When I was a student, we never gave any government any respite. We taught Babangida a lesson. Ask the students of the University of Benin. That is where I finished. As a one-time student of the University of Benin, we taught Ibrahim Babangida a big lesson. Ask him of the anti-SAP riots. What happened? I was involved, directly involved in that particular riot that shook the entire Benin city and the whole of Nigeria. Give me the chance today, I'll do it again. But where are our students? Nobody's talking. Even at the local government level, nobody talks. There used to be a time, even in secondary schools, there were riots. I remember Akabo girls. Why they call them Akabo women? Akabo girls rioted. Arugo boys rioted. Sensedio Somaka rioted. Boys secondary school Nkwere. Maria, that is rural girls, rioted. Most of these secondary schools rioted in those days when government policies were quite obnoxious. That is true. Even for poor feeding, students could take up arms and say, no way, it can never happen. Oh, as a student in the University of Benin, there was a time we chased away our vice chancellor because of some obnoxious policies made. We said, no, it can never happen. Where are our students in the secondary schools today? Nobody marches out to tell their traditional ruler what they have done is wrong. The governor or the local government chairman, what they have done is wrong. In the universities, polytechnics, nobody is talking. Students are sleeping. Students are sleeping. How can you tell our girls to go and riot when they are every day on the road? Come on. What is wrong with our people? Just imagine you. Imagine our students. You are highly educated, well-lettered. But ordinary boy, ordinary girl who calls himself a politician, who managed to pass O-level result is controlling you, making policy, teaching you a lesson of your life, and you're not talking. Tomorrow you acquire certificates. Come on, we must do something. If I'm given the chance, I will instigate crisis in Biafra land. And the crisis I mean is that which will effect some changes in the society for people to be beneficiaries of the system, not those who come and sell us out. Let me welcome Uchenna Okeke once again from Benue State. Uchenna, are you online with us? Yeah, equally, Echezena Udeze is joining from Japan. Echezena, you're welcome. Are you awake with us?
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Of course, Valentine Ugoji is joining from Port Harcourt. Valentine, are you there with us? You're welcome. And Sonny, I welcomed you before from the seat of power, Biafra land. Sonny, are you still there with us? Okay, so of course, finally, Igwe is joining us, but it appears where he is, there is no better network services. So we welcome him. Now, Uchenna, Judo has given us an account of what happened in Lagos today. Or I don't know if I called Chutoda when he was delivering that. Chutoke, did you finish your reports? Hello, Chutoke.
Yes.
Okay.
But we yet what observations.
Okay.
But
Okay, Jude, we'll come back to you. Thank you for giving us that social report. Now, let me go to Uchenna. Okay. Uchenna, how did our people in Benue State welcome this Lagos saga this morning? You know, knocking off this what do you call it, trade fair complex in Lagos. So, how did our people in Benue State, react or welcome this, madness? Uchenna.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay. Honestly speaking, it was a quite unfortunate incident that took place in Lagos today. Our people here in Benue State, Makodi, most especially the Biafrans, they were very, very unhappy over the incident that took place in Lagos today. The action was terrible. Everybody frowned at it. So everybody was happy because we watched it through our mobile phone. All the contacts we made to get the information of what was happening. A lot of us called our friends over there to know what was in Israel. And it happens as everything we are seeing, they are all true. So we're not happy. And this is a picture proposed before the international community for them to see what we are passing through in Nigeria. We keep singing, keep calling one Nigeria, but this is to tell us that we don't have only one Nigeria. We have about 3 Nigerians. If the North start their own, it is only the Igbos they bounce on. If the West start their own, it is only the Igbos they bounce on. So then where the Igbo go? That is the reason why the Igbos, the Biafrans, we keep on crying and shouting to the hearing of the world, for them to hear us. Because our people say that wherever a kid is crying and pointing his hand out, if the father is not there, the mother will definitely be there. Our cry for Biafra, there is a reason why that we are crying and pointing at this Biafra. We are pointing at this Biafra because the environment where we are today by the British northern business masters, it is not conducive for us. We are not benefiting anything from it. And that is the reason why we came up with this Biafra, the independence of our own. And so that whenever we are sick, we'll be able to know what actually is the cause of our sickness. So I think we are using this medium through vobi and BBA radio to keep telling the world that, honestly speaking, we are sick and tired of this one fake Nigeria. Thank you, my brother, the coordinator.
Thank you very much, Uchenna, for bringing us, from Makoda. Thank you 1,000 times. A little bit of Biafra music and Thank you very much for taking briefly. That is Biafra music. If you keep on playing today, we forget what we are here for today. Now let me go to Biafra seat of power, where Sonny Emmanuel Mwabisi is. Sonny, are you with us right now online? Okay, Sonny. It happened in Lagos again today, where early this morning, Lagos State government locked up our people's shops at Trade Fair Complex. It took the pressure of our people that marched on the streets, compelling the Lagos State government to open the market. How did our people back home in Biafra land welcome that side news, Sonny? And how did they feel after it was realized that the shops had been reopened?
Well, what I have to say on this is that I think somebody wrote about the protest that it was the management of the market that closed the shop because of the demand of the state government to take over the market. And they were saying that the agreement of leasing the place for 50 years has not expired. I think I was at Trade Fair at Aspanda when Obasanjo came and commissioned that very market. And I was even going to commission hello for the same fair. So I think it has been they are taking the revenue from the market, but it's a tough time because the market was commissioned by the federal government, Obasanjo and Co. So I think the person said about closing the shop by the that it was exactly when that trade who are government to see how we can take over the market, but it is not possible for them. And the executive of market is highly recognized by the federal government. But even at that, it is something that can also make us to think twice that at any point in time that goes very play. That is why when after building the market, the market is that that's what you do.
Sorry, we're not getting you at all. Change your position, please. Change your position. We cannot get you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah. So, when we look at from it, 14th February, so you in the market of things. They have food themselves.
No, sorry, I'm sorry. I have to stop you because we are not getting what you're saying at all. There is poor services over there. Maybe when it becomes clearer, I get you later again. Let us ask.
I think we are hearing him because now we are hearing him very
clearly. Okay, so go on. I'll make it brief. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. So as I was saying, when Ojukwu came there, Ojukwu told our people, look at how you food your today's market, the biggest market in Lagos. When you have many places to come and big market in Onitsha, we are at all places, and you are here deceiving yourself. You also, the way Ojukwu greeted them was they would win. So, and he didn't make any, drop the mic and left. So, and the one thing that baffles me much is this. During the time we are at that trade fair, when Ojukwu wanted to celebrate his birthday, we went to the market to ask them that we want to have a kind of lari to sensitize our people and tell them that our great leader is coming is having his birthday at Trade Fair. They were seriously demanding for what we were to do with no sort of condition. So you see, these are our brothers in Lagos. At least it is time for them to think back home, because they are not doing like a fool. They don't even think their again. They don't even think of their own again. So all these things that is happening, that it is time for them to think about home. You come back home, there is no place home. Nobody can pursue you from your land. Whatever you expect, they should remember that there is a place like home. So I don't. This is the only thing I have to say about this. Thank you, my brothers.
Thank you so much, Sonny, for that contribution. Of course, Ojukwu warned. Ojukwu cried. Let me say Ojukwu wept because of this. What did our people do? They remained hardened. Today, what is happening? We have prophets in our time, but when these our prophets speak, nobody listens until the repercussions come. We keep on telling our people, let us do something and move down towards Biafra. That is where we shall be guaranteed of our safety. Anything outside that, we continue running from pillar to post, year in, year out, and there will be no end to it. We are tired of all these things. This is what we're telling our people. Another bit of Biafra music. Thank you very much. That is interlude of Biafran music. Let us move on to Japan. What do you think of these days madness in Lagos, where state government just woke up this ceremony to lock up our Igbo business centers at Trade Fair Complex? What do you have to say in this regard? Well, I don't know if I got me. Valentine Ugoji Port Harcourt, are you there with us?
Yes, Ikenna, I am here with you.
Okay, you had in Lagos today. How our people were for certain, let me say, 3 hours. So how did our people in Port Harcourt receive this sad news?
Yes, Ikenna. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. Towards what happened in Lagos today at the trade fair, our people in Port Harcourt, those I spoke with, we are not happy about the development. They were all very angry about it because we all knew when the trade fair complex was built, we know how it was built, we know the people that built it. But what happened today in Lagos shows that we are not one. It shows that Lagos is not home for the. It shows that they are seeing us as aliens or visitors in Lagos. That is how the Yoruba see Igbos in Lagos. So there is nothing like one Nigeria. Now, when you look at what happened, we know that our brothers built that trade complex in Lagos. But for them to come up today to put it under lock and keys has to send a message to our brothers down in Lagos. They have to rethink. They need a mindset transformation. They need to thinking towards home. Because when you feel that the man you are with is with you, and a day came, the man showed you that he is not with you, what you will do is to start to they should start thinking towards home. Like I said earlier, they don't have to leave Lagos and start running towards home. No, it's a gradual process. You start building your home. You start thinking how to develop your home. We have vast land where we can establish. I know that the policy in Nigeria is one of the reasons why we are living at home to other places. But if we start building our home, the economy will still come down to our home. Those in Lagos still run down here. Those things we are carrying over there, they will still come down to this place to look for it. Our people are not happy about the development today because they know what they are able to do. But because we all are running towards Lagos, now they have the opportunity to do what they did today. Because if our people are not in Lagos, they will lock down that complex. If the complex is filled with Europe alone, in Europe, not lock up that complex. But because they know that it is the Igbos that are in that complex, that is why they have the guts to lock it up. They said, after all, it is only the Igbo that can lock it. But that's why I'm saying that our people should do what? Start thinking towards home. That's why we are sovereignty. A land can come their own. A land will set up policies that will encourage us to grow. That will help each and every one of us to have a sense of belonging. That is one thing we are doing. So, urge brothers to take it in good faith and start doing what? Working towards doing what? Relocation. I'm not talking of a relocation they will relocate today. No. But start building those things you build in. You come down to Onitsha, you come down to Asaba, you come down to you come about all. You start doing what? Building those things. And those people you go to look for will come to look for you. Once you set up those infrastructures, you went to look for. So what I am saying is this: if complex is filled with Yorubas, they will not lock it. But because our people and they see them as there, so we can do nothing. We to so the reactions over here about it is not in the positive direction. People we are not happy about that. But all we have to do is to do what? To start working towards developing our home. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much from Port Harcourt. Of course, we have a lot of our right now sending us goodwill, solidarity messages. They are saying, much as we wouldn't confront anybody violently, we must not forget to protect what belongs to us. That we are willing, as any other time, to vacate Nigeria, not just Lagos, to vacate Nigeria and go back to Biafra land. But the problem is that as we try to vacate Nigeria, Nigerian people, but especially the Yorubas, quite understand the consequences of Igbo absence in Lagos. They quite understand. They know the consequences. That no Igbo in Lagos, there won't be Lagos. We have not forgotten what happened during the Oso Abiola. We keep on reminding our people that very period, the Igbos left Lagos en masse. Lagos collapsed. Lagos collapsed. Yorubas had to beg the Igbos. People who are in solidarity with us writing some messages that we must never relent include Emeka Abo, Raphael Ademora, Emmanuel Michel, Amako Anyepensi, Sunday Ez, of course. Okudili Chukwu, we got your message. Thank you so much for giving us your support. Chukwuma Uguzo, we are getting your messages, congratulating the team here and all the contributions, saying that you like the quality of our argument. Godwin Ementa, Ugwanya Confidence, of course, Abuchi Obior, of course, monitoring from Germany here, and who is saying good evening to every Biafran. Of course, we say good evening to you as well. And we say all this is now to appreciate your presence with us this particular evening. Michael Angelo Godfrey Ihejuwa. Of course, Simon Oroke is saying that, of course, he's first of all greeting every Biafran, and thereafter saying that Almighty God shall always remain our strength. Not just our strength, but to give us encouragement at all times, never to relent. So thank you, Simon Oroke, for that particular, encouragement. Simon Joseph Ikwale, Emmanuel Chus is equally tendering warm greetings to every Biafran. We are informing our people of you that you are here, greeting them, encouraging them is a mark of encouragement equally. Of course, Kenneth Ozemenam is greeting Biafrans wherever they are. He goes by the name Nwa Biafra. Innocent is equally there. Ejike Achara, Azubike Emmanuel Lebonisa. All of you are here encouraging us. Thank you so much for giving us this encouragement through your write-ups or messages. We quite appreciate all of you. Anthony Kenechuku, of course, and Chide Isaac. All of you are there, various locations all over the world, saying that what happened in Lagos today can never be tolerated. That since we have bought over the property in Lagos, nobody will chase us away unless voluntarily we decide to vacate while still maintaining what belongs to us, of course. Prince Kenneth, you are there, of course, saying the same thing. Chinaka, Okonkwo, Michelle, Jerusalem, and lot more people. I am mentioning your name because of the goodwill messages all of you are sending to us today. And I think first time again, very many times, Biafrans are speaking with one voice. Everybody is now coming together to sing this goodwill. So we appreciate all of you for your messages of goodwill. I don't know if HS and Udez is online with us right now, or Sunday OT join us, from various locations. So Sunday OT, if you are there, HS and Udez, any of you available with us right now to make your own contributions because we are running short of time.
I'm here again.
Thank you very much, HS.
I am Mr. Governor.
Yes, welcome. You heard what happened in Lagos today. I know you were deep asleep because it was night time in Japan. But since you are waking up now, you must have heard that the Lagos International Trade Fair Complex market was locked up today for 3 hours. It was only when the Igbos took to the streets and threatened the fire and brimstone. It took the intervention from the seat of power, Biafra land, before the Igbos calmed down and refused to go violent. But the little protest they made frightened. The little protest they made frightened Lagos state government into hurriedly reopening the market at 11 a.m. in the morning. What character of an Igbo man, of a Biafran, does this day's incident portray?
Yeah, actually, I say, when your enemy are pushing you and they are playing maturely, then themselves respect them. And this is one of the reasons why I love non-violence so much. Because the word non-violence can destroy any government, it can destroy any if it's not careful. You know, if they know us for violence, they would have done a lot of harm to us. You know, and all these things they do, they try to push us to the wall, to do whatever us into a big mess. But thank God for our people who are taking it very easy. Even when it is unbearable, we bear it. You know, there was a song I normally sing when I was alone. It goes like this. Nedia, 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 Nimo Bianyo, Nedia, Haburu Makaye, Nedia, Haburu Wani Dime, Nedia, 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 Haburu Makayo, Nedia, Nedia, oh, Nedia, we've been bearing it. They kill us, bear it. They took our property, we bear it. They destroy our market, we bear it. They kill our others, we bear it. At the end of the song, I say, Oge Lugo Mbaiga Bobo. Their time has come for us to revenge, to iterate, and to tell them we are who. Our revenge and iterate is not the way they think it. It's not the way people will think it. Because we are matured and we're going to play much. I don't need to much. Like as I normally say in everything I do. Since we didn't steal anybody's land in Lagos, I mean the trade fair market, we didn't steal it from anybody. But we build the market. So nobody has the right to drive us away from the land. I said it again and I repeat it again. What I advise every woman, make sure you invest and build in your before going to any outside Igbo land to invest. After invest and go any other place you want to invest, it is your right. Buy the land, pay the money, get your receipt. Make sure you buy the land. Don't take it, don't store the land. Because if you store, you must pay, you must, and no. So what am I trying to?
I don't know if we have lost him. Are you still there with your searches?
Hello?
Yeah, go on, please.
Are you hearing me?
Go on.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah. In Yoruba land, they knows that in Nigeria can survive without the business of Igbo people. That is the simple truth. But if they don't want us, they let them allow us to go. But going does not mean that we're going to leave our property for them, because our property belongs to us. But let me stop here for 8 days.
If we are going, yeah, go on. Are you through?
I'm okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Let me stop you.
I don't know.
Hold on. If we are going home, we can do it on our own accord. Fetch our property. Hold on.
Can I ask HS something?
Yeah, just okay. Don't take them. But go on.
HS.
Hello.
I don't know. Good morning or good evening.
Hello.
It's morning.
HS, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
No. I just, there's one phrase you said that got me I don't know, do I say what may work up? And this is the statement I've been hearing our people use over and over again. If they will allow us go, that's here is it gives me it turns my belly. You know the word allow. Who will allow you? How will they allow you? If freedom is not there's it's not an allowance. They allow these people, they don't allow you. If they agree, that's what you mean. So which means if they don't allow you, and if they don't agree, what happens? We have to think twice. Actually, they decide what we want.
My brother, you asked a question. Let me answer you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me answer you. You know, ndị Igbo so na ife karịa atụ anya ife ji akamachie ya ọnụ. We Igbos are not violent people. I use that word allow, which every Igbo to understand. Allow.
So which means one day they will ring bell to say, today, go.
Come yeah,
I don't know if we have not seen.
Right?
Yes, please.
I can
Word.
strike.
Okay,
Allow. Is that is the only word I can use to explain it every thing. Nobody will expect it to allow us. We know what we are doing. You know, it's not everything we will say on the air or on public.
Okay.
But let's put it that way.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
okay, thanks so much. Gigi, okay. I want to say something.
I wanted to say
Yes,
something.
I want to make my own observation in regard of what happened. Can I go?
Yeah, please, people who are holding up and down, pushing support, yes, suspend that. Please, gentlemen, I have always advised, if you are with us here, suspend any other thing, because when you touch some objects or move with them from one place to another, we have distractions. Please, help us, gentlemen. Hello,
okay, I can go on. Okay. All right, thank you. Well, based on my remarks in regard of what happened in the Lagos International Trade, like I've always said in the past, we have leaders. We have leaders in our land. We have leaders in different land. But the problem is we don't listen to our leaders when they speak. Like a lot of our speakers have made the remarks that the late Biafra leader he made his own, when they called him to commission the particular trade fair after it was built, he cried from the world. What it shows that he saw these things coming. So, but whatever the problem is between the state and the federal government, whatever the differences are, what we should observe is that they and the state for election move in Nigeria as a before shutting down the trade fair or before the ugly incident that witnessed to. That shows you that it was a well calculated and well planned something that we are yet to really what actually happened. This is a market, an international market being shut down for over 3 hours. It is an insult to just the content. You know, it's a national market. Naira billions the government. You know, and it was just shut down as if just a road. Imagine the disrupt, including the business people that came off from all parts of the country and from all parts of the world who trade in that particular area. And the families and the job that is at stake. You know, it is an insult. It is a very big insult. But all the same, it is a lesson to our people. And the lesson is whenever such a thing happens, you see our people start gathering. But there is one thing that I observe most. I thank God that we have leaders, and then the leaders that saw these things way back. Because before we started this struggle, I'm talking of the leader of bim-massob, Chief Dr. Ralph Wazuke, that started this struggle since 1999. He saw all these things, and he has been able to gather our people, and he has always informed our people that Biafra remains the best option. But we are going to get to our destination, but we are not going to go into violence with anyone. We are going to use the peaceful means. So today, I think it's paying off, because I see a lot of people on the videos that were posted online crying, saying that we are being treated unfairly in the country that we call our own. That is no longer one Nigeria. It is just laughable. But at the same time, I don't know, it is only when we are pushed that we start remembering Biafra. But when we are relaxed, we think, that Biafra is not there. But today, okay, those people Biafra who refused to vote, who we were busy pleading for them to come out to ensure that they got the PVC and vote. I believe by now they have seen the power of the government. I'm talking of the state government. And also those who refuse to support the Biafra projects. I believe that now that they have seen the power of the government, that one day they can just wake up and they realize that their business premises or their business areas or what have been shut down. So my advice to Biafrans, most especially those that are in trade fair, is for them to support Biafra. They should support Biafra to protect themselves and their lives. That is one, first of all. Then secondly, to support Biafra to secure it, because most of them own properties and they were afraid of, if they support Biafra, but if this Biafra comes to reality, that they will lose those properties. But today, with your properties worth billions, you are not even allowed to vote. Your votes were destroyed. With your properties, with your properties and your market, the market you built was shut down for hours without allowing you to go into that same market. So it is a very big call, to our people to support Biafra and ensure that particular property, and to ensure that their rights is protected, because it is only a government that can guarantee such. It is only a government of Biafra that can, guarantee such. Because as it is right now, we cannot afford to be sent to another swamp to go and develop for any government. Because this is the way they usually do. They will shut down the place, and before you know it, they will direct them to another area, another swampy area, to go and sandfill and develop, which by the years to come, they are still going to come over there and claim the ownership of the land and eventually take over the land. So I will, indulge Biafrans and then, ask those in trade fair to support the Biafran project and join the struggle for Biafran freedom. Support the bim-massob, support any other group, that is fighting for Biafra non-violently, to ensure that we get into Biafra and then we realize our feeling Biafra That is my stake today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chijoke. Thank you wonderfully for your own contribution. We appreciate it. Of course, we want peace. We want progress. We try to be peaceful with our neighbors, and we have always expected our neighbors to behave likewise. But how do they welcome us? They seized our properties. They killed our children. We endure it. They killed our women. We endured. They stole our money and they returned only £20 per family. We endured it. They balkanized our land, took some of our people, the Igbos, down to Benue, some down to Kogi. We endured. We endured. Even some to Edo State, still we endured. There is nothing they have not done, yet we tolerated. Today, because we preach non-violence, they think that non-violence means not defending ourselves when we are provoked. Let no one misunderstand that. Non-violence means don't be aggressive, don't start war, don't provoke any civil strife. Do everything possible to make peace. But that does not mean that when the enemy wants to kill you, you fold your arms and say you don't believe in violence. You have to do something to defend yourself. And in the course of defending yourself, your enemy is brought down. No human laws will hold you responsible. We want peace as we move towards Biafra land. And peace we want to live with Nigeria. But if Nigeria does not want peace just because we preach non-violence, there will be a day when the language of peace might be lacking, and we may have to adopt the language of hell. Remember, in the world we live, as we aspire to immortality, there are two options left for us, either to be in paradise or in pandemonium. Some people might try to ask, what do I mean? Paradise is the capital of heaven, we are told, while pandemonium is the capital of hell. There are two ways. You go anywhere. But I tell you, if you die defending yourself, you are going to paradise. It's only when you carry aggression to somebody's house unprovoked, then you think of going to pandemonium. But I tell you, to defend what is ours is such a crime. There is a limit to patience, there is a limit to tolerance, there is a limit to endurance. There will be a time when we shall say to hell with everybody, to hell with the language of peace. But it will take us time to decide on that. The only time when we shall decide that is when the enemy thinks that we are helpless and they want to take us into bondage. That is when we shall say no, that we still have the limbs. They say in Latin original, civis pacem bellum para. In other words, if you want peace, prepare for war. If you want peace, prepare for war. We want peace in Biafra land, and so we must be prepared for the enemy. When these boys keep on ranting from faraway London, this Adeyinka boy and his counterparts in London, in Germany here, when they begin to shout, make noise, as if they are drunk. Of course, they're always drunk. I begin to wonder, I say, oh, are you sure you'll be able to come back home when this conflagration will come? So of course, they cannot come back home. These are cowards. Cowards reminding their enemies that they want to attack. So that when the enemy is prepared, they run away. We can't take them serious because we have had somebody like them in Biafra land. Today, how did it end? Let us warn. We have tolerated a lot, but we thank so much the doggedness and the indomitable spirit of the Igbo people today in Lagos, who trooped out at once. Within twinkle of 3 hours, the game was over. They wanted to have a test run of something, and they tested our resolve, and they understood how we were prepared to react. Igbos trooped out in mass. Every part of Lagos, the Igbos were coming into uprising. This frightened the Lagos state government that quickly reopened the market. If that market had remained closed beyond 11 o'clock or say 12 o'clock, it would have been a catastrophe of unimaginable proportion. Truth must be told. We wouldn't like anybody to be insulting our sensibility. We preach non-violence. That is our philosophy. But let nobody think that we are weak in nature. The very moment we shall be provoked, just like Senator Adesheye said, just like Dino Meleye has equally said, the very day they will ignite this particular conflagration, I tell you again and again, they will find themselves in the Republic. We try to endure, but let me warn, we can no longer regard any of our property as abandoned. No! That is only for the lazy people. When these lazy people fail to work, they think we shall run away and leave our properties for them. Oh, they must be dreaming. In Biafra land, there's a type of dream we have. The dream that will lead us to progress, not the dream that will make you convert another person's property. That is madness. If you like, cover the streets in Agege or Moshalashi or Mushioloshi. Cover the streets, continue to drink, make party, thinking that one day we shall run away from Lagos. You are joking. You must be joking. When this idea of let me tell you people, talk and talk from London, talk and talk from Germany. I mean those of you, the Yoruba people, some of you anyway, not all, who are ranting. Talk and talk till thy kingdom come. You cannot chase us away from Lagos. You cannot. Talk till today till infinity. You cannot frighten us out of Lagos. We decide when to leave. And we shall only leave in the event of Biafra. But living in the event of Biafra does not mean we forget our property. It is ours forever and ever. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So that is why we're telling you the die is cast. Thank you very much for being with us for the past 2 hours. We thank especially Dr. Chukwumegemba, who has always been with us. We are indeed tied to you by compulsory gratitude. We thank you, Eches and Udeze, always being at work in Japan to be part and parcel of this particular program. We thank you, Judy Chichoke, who made the investigation today and gave us feedback. We thank you, Sunday Oti, for your own contributions, even though network services, 4-1 anyway, could not allow us to hear you very, very well. Thank you, Valentine Mogoji from Port Harcourt. Thank you, Sonny Emmanuel Mwabisi from the City of Power, Biafra land. Thank you, Uchenno Keke from Benue State Macro, to be precise. Thank you, any other contributor. So those of you who have been on the shoot with us I won't be able to mention all their names because the list is God to Okoye Oleke, God bless it. Biafra Okoye Vincent, Lady Siboke, Eze Sunday, Lady Uche, Austin, those of you who are just coming, Ebuka Franklin, Ikoma, is Princess Joseph, Joshua Oba, and lot more. Thank you all for being with us. It has been a wonderful program. What we are telling our people is this: we are going to make sure that we protect what we have in Lagos and nobody can frighten us. Nobody, with emphasis, nobody can frighten us out of Lagos. We only live when we decide. Thank you once again from the studios of the Voice of Biafra International and the Biafra Broadcasting Authority, the city of Munich, Germany. This is Ikenna Ubiegono, the anchor, and say thank you very much for being with us. Thank you and remain blessed. Up you, the people of Biafra land. Up you, our people that made us proud in Lagos today, who refuse to succumb to intimidation. We thank all of you. From time to time, we are going to bring you updates. Don't mind, we were supposed to discuss some issues today, but the events of today have taken over the center stage. We have to suspend the rest until we meet again. Thank you for being with us, and may God bless you. The rest of the day, we give you aspects of the Biafra news. Remain blessed.